Welcome to Hustle and Vibes. I'm your girl Pink Vibes, and today I'm here with one of the owners of Clean Sneaker Care. Welcome, my brother.
How you doing?
Mr. Clue in the building.
Good. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Are you ready to talk all things gym shoes?
Yeah, I can talk all day. All day.
I know you can.
Yeah.
So tell the people a little bit about Clean Sneaker Care.
So Clean is something that we started 2 years ago, and I've been cleaning sneakers my whole life.
Okay.
And even for like my family members, my dad, my brothers, my sister, like when I was really young, but like they would just see me doing stuff like, yo, can you clean my sneakers for school and stuff like that or whatever. So it's always been there. But then I just ran into a time of like a previous employer, just like I was always a retail manager.
Okay.
So like my store just closed out the blue. Like we were doing really good, and we got a conference call at 12:30. I had a severance package by 12:45.
Okay.
And it was just like, yo, what happened? You know, it was just like everything just got snipped out of nowhere.
Wow.
It's one of them situations to where it's like you just didn't see it coming, because my situation at my store here was doing really good. So after, I took a break from everything, and about a year after that, I'm like, yo, I need to do something where I have more control over my situation, to where my plug can't be cut and all that stuff. And then it was like, what am I actually good at? What do I do every day? So it's like, yo, I clean shoes every day, and hit up Don, my partner, and Jimmy, who you see here. And then
Shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah. And then we just kind of like brought it all to life. And then, 2 years later, it just became like really, really serious. And I quit my job a month ago, and this is like full time. Yeah.
So how did you meet your business partner?
We met at No Joe Kicks, which is a sneaker boutique that's right downtown. It was one of the first stores to kind of come during that whole resurgence of downtown Detroit. I met some people. Shout out to my homie Scully. I met Scully, who was also one of the managers there at the time with me, before they opened. And then we kind of like got really cool. Okay. And then he suggested to the other owner, because he was part owner at the time, that they should bring me on. And then I was there, and it was doing really good. It was kind of the first situation of its kind in the city at that time. We're talking about like 2014, 2015. And then a year after I was there, Don just popped up like for an interview. We were finally hiring somebody, and Don popped up, and me and him talked for like 2 hours in his interview.
Look at that.
Yeah, so we just kind of like vibed
and
immediately.
Clicked immediately.
Yeah, immediately. So when I left there, because that situation, I just had to move forward. Me and Don just kind of like moved with each other, like from that point on. It was like I left there, then we ended up at the same employer after there, and then I got recruited to open up another store, which is the one that closed. Right. And then the first person I pulled in was him in that situation too. So we just kind of like bounced around with each other, and then when the store closed, that's when we kind of started everything. Like we have a brand called Wins brand. Okay. And that's where that was born. Don was doing a sneaker competition, a design competition. Okay. And we were both working at Quicken Loans at the time. And I was always at his desk. We weren't even on the same team in this place, but we were on the same floor. So I was always not at my desk, and always at his desk.
Vibing, yeah.
And I see him designing a shoe, and I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? I was like, if you win this competition or not, we should like create this.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So he didn't win the competition, but the shoe was so dope, and it was like, yo, like what do we have to do this? And that's when everything started. So then when we left there and went to the store I got recruited for, we kept the conversation going, but it really wasn't that serious, because I was doing really good there, and he was doing his thing, but then the store closed. Okay. So we took that summer to develop like everything. So we got to the point of the sneaker going into production. It was like, yo, we don't have any money. Yeah. And it's expensive to actually create a shoe from scratch. Of course. So we started blogging, and then it was like, yo, we need to create some product to get it going. So then we started creating product, and we wrote in Jimmy to shoot all this stuff that we were doing. Right. And then it's like we did a shoe, and actually that's a shoe that we did with Nike right there that we released under that brand. And that's actually when Jimmy came into the picture. Okay. Because when we dropped the shoe, it was like, yo, can you shoot everything? And then it was like, he'll shoot one project, shoot another project. And I told Don, like, yo, why don't we just like make him a partner inside of here? So then Jimmy becomes this partner inside the brand too. So, you fast forward to now, like it's you can't really all of us are involved in everything that each other does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it started off with just me and Don, and then along the way, me and Don needing help, we roped in Jimmy, and then now it's like whenever the other one's doing something, the other two are there, or the other one is there, and all that
supporting
stuff. Supporting
each other. It means a lot when you have friends that really believe in your vision. So to all those entrepreneurs out there who have this amazing idea and want to bring it to life, what's some advice for them?
Stay persistent.
Okay.
Be patient. Nothing's going to happen overnight. I think once you come to terms with like the long term like vision, like Nip said, it's a marathon.
Right.
Once you kind of grasp that concept, then things will happen.
Yeah.
It just don't happen as fast. It will never happen as fast as you want it to.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Even like we were doing this for a couple of years, and we finally are in the space, and then our next goal is to move into a storefront and all that stuff. But it's like we're okay with the slow burn. You know what I mean? Because we know we can't avoid like this step. Either you're going to grow really fast and you're going to go through the growing pains of growing fast, and things might like fall off because you didn't learn what you were supposed to learn, or you're going to go through these stepping stones. I know businesses. I have friends who launch projects and then they just got really big really fast, and they had to like halt things and stop things to kind of like take a step back to reimagine what's happening, to retrain people, to do all these things. But when you go through like these steps, you kind of like learn on the way. So we're in this position to where we have like low overhead and all these things, and we can afford to fail.
Yeah.
Even though we've been building this for so long, like we have all confidence in ourselves and the product and what we're doing. But it's like if we slip up here and there, we're not going to like be out the game.
Yeah,
we can like slip and keep going. So I say to people like just keep grinding, stay persistent, and keep your energy good and keep people around you with good energy. Like my circle is really, really small.
Yeah.
All of us are doing things. Like if I call Jimmy like, yo, can we work on this project or whatever? It's like, he knows we're actually going to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, yo, I got this idea and it's not going to happen. It's like, no, like everything that we talk about like
bring
happens.
it to fruition. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it took, how long? It took us years to find people around us that do that. Because we all got people that's like, oh girl, I got this idea about this thing. And you're like, oh, okay, sweet. And then over time, it's like, yo, I'm tired of hearing these ideas. Like who's actually ready to work?
Exactly.
So I think we all got to a place in our lives to where it's like, we're all ready to work. So, keep your circle small and with people that are serious.
Yes.
And hold each other accountable.
Right, when
push
necessary.
Each other
True.
On a personal level. You know what I mean? If one of us is going through something, we developed this thing to where now we care about each other outside of business.
It's like family now.
Like, do you need something? Like, oh, you got a flat tire? I'll pull up. Like, oh, you hungry? I'm about to bring food. Like, you going through something in your personal life? Let's kick it about it. Like,
for sure.
So like, I'm the oldest one. So I'm married and I got kids. I'm the only one who's married. So I'm always got an open ear no matter what. If somebody's going through something, or if I got financial advice, like they might be better with finances. Like, yo, like how did you save up this much money and all that stuff or whatever. So keeping positive people around you, keep your energy good, take care of yourself and stay persistent.
I hear that. I hear that. So how do you juggle family life and being a businessman?
I don't know.
Just wake up every day and take it one day at a
time. It's knowing some, people say like family first.
Yeah.
Can I curse? No.
Do as you please.
I think that it's bullshit. It's not realistic.
Okay.
It's like me and my wife are really supportive of each other. Like she has her own brand that we've launched and it's doing really well.
Nice.
And it's like understanding what's the priority at the time.
Okay.
Sometimes business has to be before family. But what keeps that intact is the discussion leading up to that. Communication.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the biggest thing that keeps us going. And then it's like proving to her that I can do this. And proving to her that I can be trusted to take these risks. Like I said, a month ago I quit my job.
Yeah.
But it's like I've earned the right to lead my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if that makes sense. Like men are like, oh, I'm the head of the household and all that stuff, but it's like you're leading them into nowhere. You know what I mean?
True.
It's like you want your wife to be submissive in the proper form, but you haven't proven to her that she can trust you.
Right, you can lead her.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like we've been together for 9 years this year.
Oh, congrats,
married
my
for 4
brother.
this year. Thank you.
Nice.
And it's like over that time I've proven that I'm the man that can take our family to the next level. And I've stumbled, I've fucked stuff up several times. I've blown money and all this stuff, but she's seen me learn from those things and then kind of take us to like the next level. You know what I mean? So now I'm entrusted with, you know, her time, our kids' time, and all that stuff, and entrusted with like, okay, if he's doing this, then I know he's thinking about us first. Even though it's like he's going to be gone all day, it's like I know he's doing the overall goal is us. Yeah. So like you said, the communication piece is the most important thing, and that's honestly how it happens, and everything else is just like the sheer will to do it. Because once you cross over this path, there's nobody calling me to say like, Clue, get up and get to the shop. Yeah. Like, clean these sneakers, like do this, make this phone call, respond to DMs and all this stuff. It's like, nobody made me come here today to do this, but it's like looking at what this could lead to, you know, and like pushing yourself to be that person is what kind of gets you through it. So the communication with my family and just the drive to make it happen. And then I'm comfortable with like, yo, like this is a forever thing. Like I'm
building legacy.
Yeah, I'm not doing nothing else. You know what I mean? And then it's important for the kids to kind of see like this whole process. You know what I mean? So I balance it by, you know, understanding when to be a father, when to be a husband, when to be a businessman, and then also when to like chill out. Right. You know what I mean?
And like, just take a breather, man.
Yeah. Because today was one of those days where I got a podcast too called the Sneaker Dads Podcast. Okay. And we recorded that this morning. And then, so that goes into like, then I'm creating a graphic for the podcast. And then it's like, I'm preparing for like, say this comes up. But then it's like my kids had things going on too. My wife is like, I got all this stuff or whatever. Nice. So it's, you know. Teamwork. And then just like, you just got to do it. You know what I mean? Like, for sure. No excuses. You just got to do it.
So how important is it for a person to actually, honestly believe in themselves?
That's everything. Because if you don't believe, then it's not going to get you. Another misconception when people say like, oh, when you do what you love, it's not work. It's like, that's also bullshit.
Yeah, you got to put that work in.
It's also going to be work. I don't want to do this every day. You know, but like believing in yourself and having that drive and the will to like want this to work, to want to make this work. When you got those rough days, it's like that's when the faith, the belief, the love for what you do kind of pushes you through. And then it kind of gets you going. It's like a runner, like probably don't want to get up and run, you know, practice for a marathon, but they know what the end game is. So once you get into your bag and you get into what you do, then it's like everything is going from here. I got this thing where I always say like just like one more. So say if I got like, you know, 10 pair of sneakers to clean, it's like, and I don't feel like doing it. I know if I start, I was like, let me finish this one pair and then I'll be okay. Then once I start doing it, you start to get into the zone. It's like, okay, cool. And now that one out, let me get into the next pair and then the next pair. So I literally take everything one situation at a time, one pair at a time. And it just kind of gets you through like whatever. So you just got to like pace yourself and be persistent. And like I said, if you don't believe, then who else is going to believe in you? Because it comes out of you.
True.
Like if I didn't believe this was going to happen, then like the days where like Don is like, yo, I'm not really feeling it. Then it's like my energy transports to him, and he's like, yo, Don does like all the business stuff and the digital stuff. So he created the graphics, the logo, and all that. So if I'm like not really into the shits, then it's like, why should he?
Right, exactly.
Why should he waste his time with me?
If you don't believe.
Yeah, why should Jimmy be up here doing stuff with us if I don't believe it's going to be something? It's like they kind of like, you know, believe in me because I believe in it so strongly. I eat, sleep, and breathe this and bleed this. And just like photography, like if Jimmy needs something photography-wise, like, yo, I got this idea. We stop what we're doing to help that come to life.
As you should.
Yeah, if Don has a design or he has a project going on at Foot Locker or whatever, it's like, yo, we show up because it's like we believe in what's happening, but that energy comes from the belief, you know,
right, within yourself. Yeah, for sure. So take me through the process, right? I have these dope shoes that I have, but I need to get them clean. How do I get them into clean sneaker care?
Yeah, so the first thing is we're open Tuesday through Saturday, so you'll pull up during one of those times. Okay. We got signs outside. You will just call the numbers. Yo, I'm here to drop off like 3 pair of sneakers for whatever. And then we'll come out there, we'll assess them like, hey, we think they need all deep cleans. You know, that'd be $75 total, we do a 50% deposit.
Okay.
And we try to keep it cashless if possible.
Okay.
So we'll send you like an invoice. You will pay the half. We take 2 to 3 days to knock them out, and then you come back. Hopefully you're satisfied, and you pick them up and repeat. Hopefully.
So right. So that's pretty easy. Did y'all get that? Pretty
it's
easy
real
system,
simple.
right?
Yeah, it's real simple.
So when did your love for gym shoes really start?
Since I was a kid, I can't remember a time where I wasn't into a certain pair. Like, whether it was the younger days, my dad was really big on like Magic Johnson and all that stuff. And, you know, before Jordan, there was Magic Johnson. Before Jordan brand, it was Converse.
Right.
You know, so I grew up really liking Converse, you know, and as I got older, when I was in like elementary school, I remember having like my Converse, and like Larry Johnson was my favorite at the time. And I remember it was a sneaker that they had, and it had this thing called React Juice in it.
React Juice, okay.
Yeah, it was just, you know, all those gimmicks. Like when Nike first had Air and all that stuff, Converse thing at the time was React Juice, and it was pretty cool. I just thought that was the dopest thing ever. So I had my Jordans, I had my Converse, and then I was really into cartoons like any kid.
Right.
So when I found out like I can get cartoon characters on shoes, I was the kid that legit wanted certain Payless shoes because I had a rotation of, at one time I had my Converse, a pair of Jordan 7s, and I had a pair of Ninja Turtle sneakers.
Come on, with the light ups, like now.
Dude, like, so it was across the board. It was like, it's always been just about the sneaker, the story, like what is it? Now I understand it, but it was like before I just wanted cool stuff, and then when I understood like I can get my favorite things meshed with my other favorite thing, which is sneakers, and it all just made sense to me.
Nice.
You know, and now it's like all about storytelling. It's like, what story am I attached to, like, that this sneaker is telling? And that's how I buy things, you know what I mean? The backstory is how I purchase sneakers. It's not about like I need these to go with an outfit. Sometimes it's like that, but for the most part, it's like my favorite pairs are based off of a story. Why were these created? What's the color story? Like, what are the materials? Like, was the story executed properly? Like, how does it make me feel when I look at them? Like, all those things kind of play a part in, you know, what we do. Like, this is a shoe that we designed. I'm so happy these are here. A customer brought these to get them clean. So, this was the shoe that we designed through Nike. I got a thing for Air Max 1s, and Don has a thing for Air Forces. So, we have a pair of Air Force 1s that kind of mirrors the shoe in a way. But it was like, you know, this story, oh, that was so clumsy. This story, like on the back it says Detroit is one. So we did this whole rollout, and it was called Detroit is. And then when you came to the store, we had this big sign that said Detroit is with a line, and then you wrote what it meant to you.
Come on.
And we actually still have that. But it was like this whole experience about like, what does Detroit mean to you? And then we just kind of put this story together through color. You know what I mean? And it was a super dope thing. I'm just so happy that we got to do that. And then we actually sold a lot of these too. You know what I mean?
Those are really dope.
Thanks,
those are really dope. And that's a great opportunity for you guys, you know?
Yeah, so it was cool, but it's like the important part for me is like the story. So yeah, when I was a kid, it was whatever I found out that was cool, I was just always into just sneakers. And then when you get older, it's like, oh, I can buy them myself. Then you just go down these rabbit holes of trying to recreate those moments, and getting those pairs again, and it just never ends. It's like it's always another pair.
Hello, it keeps going. So what is some advice you would give to someone who has this great passion, like you had passion for shoes? What is some advice you would give to them for turning that passion into a lucrative business?
Yes, get in that lane. So for instance, if you want to be a designer, it's like go work in retail. You know, start in retail, like start learning, because whatever you're doing, it all kind of works together. You know what I mean? And then when you stay in that lane, you never know like where it's going to take you. So you might want to be this amazing designer. You start working in retail, you start meeting people, you start leveling up, and you look up and it's like, actually, you just want to be a retail manager now, or you really want to be a person that cuts patterns, or you want to sew. You might not want to be on the front end of that, or you might want to be into merchandising or whatever. But when you stay in that lane, you just learn all the stuff that you need to learn. So it's like me being into sneakers, I always just surrounded myself with the culture, whether it was working in different sneaker stores, hosting my own events, networking with people, doing marketing for sneaker stores, like sometimes for free, like helping people come up with campaigns, and whatever the case is, I just immerse myself into the culture.
Right.
So when you surround yourself by what you want to do, it's like so many things come out of it, and you kind of maneuver your way through. Like the path, I didn't know I wanted to clean sneakers when I first. I didn't know I wanted to ever like have my own shoe or whatever the case is, but when you just are in it, then things just happen, and you just learn like, oh, this was cool, but I don't really want to do that for real, so let me try this. But you don't know what this is unless you're inside of that bubble. You know what I mean? So I would say to anybody, like, find what you're passionate about and kind of just like stay in that world. Like Jamie, I'm sure you just picked up a camera and just started taking pictures.
Yeah.
And then you learn and you learn and you learn. You surround yourself with other photographers, and you look up. It's like, oh, somebody wants to pay me to do this, and then
something
it just goes from there. You know what I mean? Like, so I think you just got to immerse yourself into what it is. Like always looking into it. Like even here, like when I'm all done with shoes for the day, it's like I'm looking up videos about different techniques. Like I'm like studying certain things. Sure. I'm like, I was just telling the guys, like, one of the person I look up to the most that does this is Jason Mark. Has the biggest shoe cleaner in the world. Has a couple of flagship boutiques, and it's like I legit look at his videos and like take screenshots and zoom in to see like how does he have the stuff set up.
Right.
What's their workflow? Like how do they have their towels stocked up? Like what techniques are they using to dry sneakers? Like what are they doing when they're finished? How are they storing them? Like how are they branding their bags when they give them back to customers? Like I'm always trying to figure stuff out and just learn like, oh, and then how can I put my own twist to those things? And what can I come up with that's completely original? You know what I mean? So it's always learning, and always, like I said, that comes from just immersing myself inside of, you know, the culture and the things that I'm doing. So you gotta be buried in it.
You got to, man. So what motivates your hustle?
Wanting to leave. Before we started, we talked about like legacy.
Yeah.
Wanting to build a legacy for my boys that would carry on like our name like for as long as humanly possible. And then showing them like I don't have a college degree. Everything I've been able to do is from like pure hustle. You know, always feeling like I have something to prove to myself.
Yeah.
And knowing that it's other people that's like, I love when people are like, how did you do this? You know, when I was a retail manager, like people go to school and have like degrees and we're in the exact same position.
Come on, true.
And it's like, you did 4 years in college and nothing wrong with that. I'm already putting together my kids' college fund if they want to go to college.
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with that. But it's like, I got to where I'm at off of pure hustle. While you were in the classroom, I was doing this and working my way up through.
Hands-on.
But it was like giving them two different perspectives. But it's like I'm the first one to be like, yo, like we talk to my son about college all the time. It's like if you want to go to college, that's cool. But it's like if you want to go through this route, hopefully I'll pave the way to where it's not as rough. To where it's like we can maneuver through things quicker. So if you want to be a designer, hopefully I can get you into like a cool internship sooner and whatever, like leveraging what we've built. You know, so building a legacy for our family, and then, you know, inspiring other people to kind of like do the same thing, because this is so much bigger than us now. I get people all the time, like if I post a video or the fact that I quit my job, people are just like, wow, I can't believe you did that. And they're like, you know, they just want to know, and it's probably inspiring somebody to kind of take those steps, and they're like curious, like, how could you do this? You got 2 kids, like, why would you do that? And it's like, by the grace of God, I was able to, you know, get to this point. You know what I mean? But my hustle was just fueled by like wanting to, you know, leave the world a better place than when it was when I got here, and then leaving a legacy that's going to inspire my kids and other people after I'm gone.
I love that. Yeah. Where do you see Clean Sneaker Care in the next 5 years?
5 years, flagship boutique in New Center or Midtown Detroit, a second location in Birmingham, and the third location in Chicago.
Okay, now manifest it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's really specific.
Now, I always have this part of the show where I like to ask my guests for jewels or gems that they want to leave out to the world. So what is one jewel or a gem you would like to leave out to the world?
Shall I look at the...
You sure can.
Yeah, so I would say stop creating stories for yourself as to why you're not doing things. Just get up and just fucking do it. You know, it sounds easier said than done, but that's kind of the root of everything. You can look for all this motivation, you can go read all these books, you can go to all these conferences, but at the end of the day, we just have to start doing stuff. You know, in our circle, we got this thing that the homie says, and he just says, like, start today. Like, and it's kind of simple as that. Once you start, then God, the universe, whatever you want to, however you want to call it, or whatever you want to call it, things just happen for you when you just start going. So once you start, then everything just kind of like starts to work in your favor. If you're a good person and if you're doing the right things, of course, you can't be like a terrible guy.
Right, expect good things to happen.
Yeah, no, but if you're a good person and you're moving in a direction and you're working your ass off, like, things just happen. You know what I mean? Like, the money comes.
Yeah.
You know, so just start. Like Don said, start today, and things are going to continue to happen. Are going to start happening for you.
Definitely. Those some jewels, my brother. You sparkling. So give the people Clean Sneakers Instagram and your Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram is at Clue313. Clean Instagram is at Clean Sneaker Care. And again, we're here Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6. Saturdays, we are here 10 to 4. And yeah, pull up, bring us your sneakers, come and kick it. Not inside though because of COVID, but we can kick it outside.
Right.
But yeah, man, hopefully we get to interact with people wholeheartedly soon. And follow the homies like at Jimmy _ Goldfingers, Stay Lace _ Don, and my wife's brand JUSTE, Just Flow as well. We're like this whole movement that's happening, and we all rock with each other. So yeah.
Definitely. You guys definitely need to support. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you for coming.
For sure, for sharing your energy and your time with me. You got to pound it.
For sure.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next Hustle and Vibes.